Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hey, it's Nxrthkace.
We're here with our first podcast today. Alrighty.
We're here to talk about basically how, as a young age, the system, aka government, trains your brain to slave for them. We're going to be getting into that topic.
We don't rock with slavery. No modern day slavery.
No. So, look, we're going to jump right into it. I'm Kay.
I'm Case. Nice to meet y'all.
First podcast.
First podcast.
So, let's get into school. When the system puts a child into school, they know their brain is developing young, right?
Correct. We know. But
so they train the young brain of a child to get in the process of 8 hours of their day, wake up early in the morning to go somewhere they definitely do not want to be, right?
correct.
No. Why you sound like Amber Heard?
But no, I was gonna say, as you can see, I feel like the system isn't a system for kids. It's built to teach us how to be good workers. The system doesn't teach you how to be a good person or a good Samaritan. They teach you how to be a good person in the workplace, how to do what you're told to do and follow those rules, because people with authority or a title, get to choose what you can and can't do. So that's what I think school definitely is.
Like, parents are like the head of a child. The teachers are the head of the child. Managers are head of that person, period. Like, we get taught to listen. Just listen. Like, take in what the person says, regardless if they right or not. If somebody tells you, this is a yellow shirt, at a young age, you're not gonna have no second guess about it. You're just gonna be like, okay, yellow shirt, got it. I know it's yellow now.
But you see, the thing is, the government also doesn't teach us how to have our own opinions. Because I could go and say, that's a green shirt. That's a pretty green shirt you got. My parents told me it was a green shirt. But guess what? You're gonna stick to your ideologies because that's what you know and that's what you grew up on. The purpose of this podcast, to get money.
Man, come on, stop playing around.
My brain went blank. That's not what I meant to say.
No, the point of this podcast is to reach out to people who feel like they're helpless to the system.
And then get money. I'm playing, guys. No, but real life, the point of this podcast is to hopefully help somebody else in their days. Because we've gone through a lot of stuff being young. Already been through a lot of stuff, so hopefully our way of, sitting down and talking to a camera, hopefully, makes it feel like there's somebody else, that you guys can speak to. So we can help you guys through all your problems, as, you guys are helping us with our problems. And YouTube is just an outlet for both of us, so.
Yes. People, like, for me, when I was younger, I found this motivational speaker, Prince EA. I don't know if any of y'all know who he is, but he has a different way with words, along with this one here, even though he says you know too much. But people like the reassurance of there is hope out there, instead of just going through a daily routine, 8 hours a day, having to give your time, your youth, to somebody you have no clue about. And whether if they put a face up or not, if they like you or not, you know what I mean? Like, having to serve for them. You trade time for money, and you trade, like, basically what you're telling me. You're right, you're right.
So, to reiterate on what you were saying, basically, time is the most valuable thing. That's one thing that you guys always understand. Time is the most valuable thing. You can make as much money as you want. You can make as many friends as you want. But at the end of the day, once you're out of time, you're out of time. There's nothing else you can do. So, as that being, there shouldn't be a reason why some other person who is born the same way, who can die the same way, who breathes the same air, and has the same blood flowing through their veins, is able to tell you, hey, I want you to do this for my benefit. And we apparently should listen to what that other person is saying because they have a title. And at the end of the day, you still have to respect a certain degree of authority. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be your sacrificing your mental and physical health or your own well-being just to meet somebody else's needs.
Yeah.
That was just a little bit to reiterate on that.
See, like, he's not wrong. Like, I feel like Gen Z is gonna change future generations, period. Like, we're all standing up, quitting our jobs. Plenty of places have plastered on their windows, now hiring. Why do you think they're hiring? People don't want to be run over no more. People don't want to be underpaid anymore. People don't want to serve their life doing something they don't prosper in their lifetime. Like, you only get to live this life once. Just one time, one chance. Anything can happen. You could die tomorrow.
And I'm gonna say this. So, the same thing when she's talking about jobs. I'm gonna say this. Just because you have a job doesn't mean just quit it just because you want to do something. I say, if you need that job, if that job is helping you supply for somebody else, like a child or something, keep that job, work. But if you can do something better that'll help you and that's better in yourself, and that job is not helping you at any cost at all, do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, that job can hire anybody else. If you get hurt, or anything happens, the job is quick to replace you. The jobs think that they don't need us as workers. But at the end of the day, they need workers. And if they're gonna find workers, find it. The same way they don't care about your well-being. We should have our own well-being as a very first priority. Mm-hmm. So if a job is, going against that or making that not happen, do what's best for you.
See, this is perfect for me to chip in on that. I suffer through this organization, Walmart. I don't want to call any names out to, get attention towards me and why I said this, but I suffered 2 years in Walmart's organization, going through different situations, being treated like an object, and I spoke to 2 different managers, and they both seem like they really truly understand what it's like to be turned into somebody else you aren't. These managers told me the people ahead of them told them to be a certain way and treat associates like how they're treated. People are treating people like trash, and if you know that's going on, do what's best for you. And they told me the same thing. So after working 2 years, I did 3 years cashier and went to in the back room, and over time and aches everywhere, pains, joint aches, and stuff like that. And just today I spoke out, along with yesterday. I spoke out to 2 different managers in charge of my team. I told them exactly about all the problems in the store with Walmart, period, and what's my problem. And I did not quit. I did not get fired. I did not put in 2 weeks, whatever you want to say. I left with a good note. I don't want to have that on my record that I quit. I did not quit for no reason. I had an hour and a half conversation with each of these managers over everything. And I've always said if I ever felt like my Walmart days were to come to an end, I would speak out, because I felt so held down to this job and I could not voice myself because it seemed like nobody cared to hear what I had to say, and these people did care. So you never know who actually cares or not. I thought one of these managers was gonna be a jokester, and honestly, this was like I touched their soul, and that touches my soul knowing that I made some type of change, because they said they're gonna take what I said serious and into consideration and bring it to the store manager and do one-on-ones with associates and managers over their mental health. And they said that hasn't gone on in a while. And Mental Health Awareness Month for Walmart was last month when he got fired. And nobody was approached one-on-one about it. Like, hey, how are you doing? Like, this is important to people. It would have been important to me. It would have kept me thriving, maybe. Even though I have so many pains. But I touched these people's hearts that I spoke out about these things that are serious. Because I care about people. Like, I want people to be treated like people. And it makes me happy knowing that future generations who could possibly work in this Walmart will be treated like people. Like how I would have seen it to be that certain way.
And I can say on that, you know, it's not that Walmart itself is a bad job. It may have been the workers that we were working with. So I don't ever want you guys to think that you guys can, you know, just say, oh, this is an inherently bad place. There's not anything inherently bad with the place. Even me, even though I got fired, it wasn't inherently bad. It was just the people that I was, you know, managed by and all that. So, but the thing is, the point is, at the end of the day, you can't go back to what you had, and you can't go back on things that, you know, you weren't happy with. So at the end of the day, I am glad that I got to, you know, experience that little job at Walmart. Even though the bad times, like I got to understand people a little bit more in that, you know, profession. But in the same way, I want you guys to realize, even through all that, you have to treat people with, you know, kindness. Because the thing is, for me, even though I was treated really badly and I had certain things happen at the job, I chose not to look at it as, oh, you guys are treating me bad, so let me go ahead and treat you guys bad. You guys are, you know, saying this mean stuff to me, so let me go ahead and say these mean things to you guys. It's like, you have to realize you have to be the bigger person sometimes in any situation, even times when you don't want to be the bigger person. Sometimes you just have to be the bigger person and just go on about your day, because at the end of the day, you have to realize, is stressing about this thing or this person or getting angry at this thing, is this going to make me feel any better in 5 minutes? Most of the time, no. It'll only infuriate you more. And at the end of the day, there's so little time in the world that we have to be angry at each other and mad. Like, when I think about it, us as a younger generation, we have to start getting our minds aligned and thinking, you know, in unison, and like, not in unison as in we all think the exact same thing, but we have to think on a sound line that, hey, we understand what we need to do, we got to get it done, so we all can have better quality of life. And just us as a newer generation, we all have to understand, hey, this world is too short to, you know, go on about doing whatever. We have to do what we like to do, what we enjoy doing, even though it may not make you a lot of money or any money at all in the beginning. Keep doing it, because eventually, if you're doing something you love, eventually, if you try hard enough, anything is possible with it.
Yeah.
Facts.
We perceive the influence on people as to what we want to take further. Like, whether it's music or YouTube with him, or same thing for me. Whatever touches people most, I will pursue that. Because if I find a way to help somebody, I'll do it. Even if it's a YouTube therapist, like, comments saying, like, I'm going through this at work. There's probably going to be replies to that comment saying, I went through the same thing. You are not alone. Like, there's probably worse experience than I had to experience in my whole work life, period. You know?